Push yourself, every day, like winners. Duke golden key to prosperity. Success isn't handed to you on a silver platter. It doesn't come from waiting for the stars to align, hoping for a stroke of luck, or relying on fleeting bursts of motivation. Winners, those who rise above the crowd and achieve extraordinary results, don't depend on external forces to shape their future. They take control. They push themselves every single day, no matter how they feel, no matter what obstacles stand in their way, no matter how loud the voice of doubt screams in their head. They don't wait for inspiration, they create it. They don't hope for a great day, they make it happen. This relentless commitment to demanding more from themselves is what sets winners apart from everyone else. Most people drift through life at half speed. They do the bare minimum, stopping the moment things get tough or uncomfortable. They work hard when it's convenient, but as soon as resistance appears, they back off. Winners do the opposite. They lean into the struggle. They push past their comfort zone, stay disciplined when no one's watching, and keep going when most would quit. This isn't about working themselves into the ground. It's about raising their standards to a level where average is no longer an option. It's about forging a mindset that thrives under pressure, a body that endures challenges, and a spirit that refuses to settle for less than greatness. Pushing yourself every day isn't just about today's effort. It's about building a life of unshakable discipline. Every time you choose action over excuses, you strengthen your resolve. Every time you push through resistance, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more. Over time, this becomes who you are. A person who doesn't just meet expectations, but demands more from themselves than anyone else ever could. The question is, are you pushing yourself daily, or are you holding back? Are you building the habits of a winner, or are you slipping into the comfort of mediocrity? Every day, you're either moving closer to your potential or drifting further away. There's no standing still. Stop negotiating with your mind. The first and most critical step to pushing yourself like a winner is to stop negotiating with your own mind. Most people lose the battle before they even start. The moment their alarm rings, they begin a mental debate. Maybe I'll hit snooze. Maybe I'll start tomorrow. Maybe I don't need to push so hard today. This internal negotiation hands the reins to their feelings, and feelings are a shaky foundation for success. They're inconsistent, unreliable, and often lead you to choose the path of least resistance. Winners don't give themselves that option. They don't ask, should I do it? They declare, I will do it. By eliminating the question, they shut the or on excuses. Your mind is wired to protect you from discomfort. It's a survival mechanism designed to keep you safe and conserve energy. But in today's world, that instinct often works against you. It whispers that you've done enough, that you deserve a break, that you can try again later. That voice is the enemy of progress. It's what keeps you stuck, trapped in a cycle of average. Winners recognize this. They know that success doesn't come from how you feel. It comes from what you do, day in and day out. The moment you stop negotiating with yourself, everything changes. When the alarm goes off, you get up. When it's time to work, you dive in. When resistance hits, you push harder. This mental discipline is forged in the small moments. It's choosing to lace up your running shoes even when it's raining. It's sitting down to write even when your mind feels blank. It's making that extra sales call even when you're tired. These moments, when you act despite your feelings, are where discipline is built. The more you practice this, the stronger you become. Over time, you train your mind to expect action, not hesitation. You rewire your instincts to prioritize progress over comfort. And with each victory over your own mind, you move closer to the person you're capable of becoming. Key. Harness the power of momentum. One of the most powerful forces in pushing yourself daily is momentum. Action creates energy, and motion generates motivation. Most people struggle because they wait to feel ready before they act. They sit around, hoping inspiration will strike, or they delay starting until the conditions are perfect. But that's a trap. Waiting for the right moment means you're relying on something unreliable. Winners don't wait, they move. They take the first step even when it feels daunting because they know that starting is the hardest part. Think about the toughest part of any challenging task. In a workout, it's not the middle, it's getting to the gym. In writing a book, it's not the final chapter, it's the blank page staring back at you. The moment before you begin is when resistance is at its peak. Your mind floods with excuses. I'm too tired. I'll do it later. It's not the right time. But winners push through that initial barrier. They start, and once they do, something remarkable happens. Momentum kicks in. The act of moving creates energy. The first step leads to the second, then the third, and soon stopping feels harder than continuing. This is why building momentum is so critical. It's not about one massive effort. It's about creating a habit of starting. When you take action, every day, you train yourself to overcome that initial resistance. You make starting second nature. You don't need to psych yourself up or rely on external motivation. You just do it because that's who you are. Momentum turns effort into a self-sustaining cycle. The more you act, the more you want to act, and the more unstoppable you become. To harness momentum, start small if you need to. Don't aim for perfection, just aim to begin. Write one sentence, do one push-up, make one phone call. These small actions build the energy you need to keep going. Over time, those small steps compound into massive progress. The key is to never let a day pass without taking action. Even on your worst days, do something, because every action, no matter how small, keeps the momentum alive. Embrace discomfort as your ally. Winners don't run from discomfort. They chase it. Most people see struggle, pain, or difficulty as a signal to stop. They avoid anything that feels hard, believing comfort is the goal. Winners know better. They understand that growth only happens outside the comfort zone. Strength is forged in struggle. Resilience is built through resistance. Confidence is earned by stepping into the unknown and proving you can handle it. If you want to push yourself to new heights, you must train yourself to seek out the hard things. If something scares you, do it. If it challenges you, embrace it. If it feels uncomfortable, you're exactly where you need to be. Every time you tackle something difficult, you expand your capacity. You become mentally tougher, physically stronger, and more capable of handling life's challenges. Discomfort isn't a barrier. It's the gateway to growth, power, and success. Most people misunderstand this. They think winners have some superpower that makes hard work feel easy. They assume top performers enjoy the grind or are immune to doubt and fatigue. The truth is, winners feel the same resistance as everyone else. They're tired, they question themselves, they face the same excuses. The difference is they lean into the discomfort instead of avoiding it. They've trained themselves to thrive in tough situations, to see challenges as opportunities, to view the struggle as a privilege. By embracing discomfort, they become unstoppable. To make discomfort your ally, start by reframing how you see it. Instead of viewing it as something to avoid, see it as proof you're growing. When your muscles burn during a workout, that's growth happening. When your mind resists studying for an exam, that's your brain stretching. When you feel nervous before a big presentation, that's your confidence building. Every moment of discomfort is a chance to become better. The more you seek it out, the more comfortable you become with being uncomfortable. And that's when you start to separate yourself from the crowd. Raise your standards to reject mediocrity. Pushing yourself every day means raising your standards to a level where average is unacceptable. Winners demand more from themselves than anyone else ever could. They don't settle for good enough. They don't just do what's required, they go beyond. Most people set the bar too low, doing just enough to get by, just enough to stay comfortable, just enough to avoid failure. Winners set the bar so high that even their worst day outshines most people's best. Consider the world's top athletes, artists, or entrepreneurs. They don't just meet expectations, they exceed them. They put in extra hours, study harder, train longer, and demand excellence from themselves. Not because someone's watching, but because that's who they are. Raising your standards means holding yourself accountable to a higher level of effort, focus, and discipline every single day. It means refusing to accept mediocrity, even when no one else would notice. When you raise your standards, you push yourself in ways others won't. You do the extra work, stay disciplined when no one's watching, and keep going when most would stop. This commitment to excellence compounds over time, turning small daily efforts into extraordinary results. By setting a new standard for yourself, you create a mindset that rejects complacency and drives you toward greatness. To raise your standards, start by defining what excellence looks like for you. What would it mean to operate at your absolute best? What habits, actions, and mindsets would you need to adopt? Then, hold yourself to that standard every day. Don't let yourself off the hook. If you commit to writing 500 words, don't stop at 400. If you plan to run 3 miles, don't quit at 2. By consistently meeting your own high standards, you build a reputation with yourself, one that says you're someone who doesn't settle. Develop the habit of finishing. One of the most powerful ways to push yourself like a winner is to develop the habit of finishing. Most people start strong but fade when things get hard. They begin a workout but quit when it burns. They set a goal but give up when progress slows. They commit to change but revert to old habits when it gets tough. Winners finish what they start. They push through when others stop, not because they always feel like it, but because they refuse to be the kind of person who quits. Finishing builds unshakable belief in yourself. Every time you complete a task, follow through on a commitment, or push past the point of discomfort, you prove to yourself that you can handle anything. This confidence isn't built on external validation. It comes from knowing you don't give up. Winners train themselves to see every rep, every task, every goal through to the end. They don't allow themselves to walk away because they understand that finishing is what separates the elite from the average. The habit of finishing creates a cycle of success. Each time you complete something, you build momentum, reinforce discipline, and strengthen your belief in your ability to overcome obstacles. Over time, this becomes automatic. You don't just start, you finish. You don't just try, you succeed. And that's what makes winners unstoppable. To develop the habit of finishing, start by setting clear, achievable goals and committing to seeing them through. Break larger tasks into smaller milestones to make completion feel manageable. When you feel the urge to quit, remind yourself why you started. Focus on the pride you'll feel when you cross the finish line. Even if progress is slow, keep going. Every step forward is a victory, and every finished task is a building block for your confidence and discipline. Consistency. The key to lasting success. Pushing yourself every day isn't about random bursts of effort. It's about relentless consistency. Most people can work hard for a short period. They can stay disciplined for a few weeks, push themselves when they're excited, or give their all when motivation is high. But as soon as the excitement fades, the work gets repetitive, or progress slows, they stop. Winners don't rely on motivation, they rely on habits. They don't depend on inspiration, they depend on discipline. Consistency is what turns effort into results. It's not about doing something hard for a day or a week. It's about showing up every single day, demanding more from yourself, and refusing to let excuses derail you. Winners know that success is built in the small, daily choices, choosing to work harder, stay longer, and give more when no one's watching. These choices compound over time, creating a gap between those who push consistently and those who don't. The beauty of consistency is that it makes pushing yourself easier. The first time you demand more from yourself, it feels impossible. Your mind resists, your body fights, and every part of you wants to quit. But if you push through, it gets a little easier the next time, and easier still the time after that. Eventually, what once felt daunting becomes normal. What once seemed impossible becomes your standard. This is the power of repetition. Through consistent effort, you reprogram your mind and body to expect greatness. To build consistency, focus on creating routines that support your goals. Set specific times for your most important tasks. Eliminate distractions that pull you off track. Track your progress to stay motivated and hold yourself accountable. Most importantly, don't let setbacks derail you. If you miss a day, don't give up. Just get back to it the next day. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. Break through mental limits. The real battle in pushing yourself isn't physical, it's mental. Your body can handle far more than you think. Your potential is greater than you realize. The only thing holding you back is the voice in your head that says, "That's enough. You've done enough for today. You don't need to go further." That voice is lying. And it's the enemy of growth, and if you listen to it, you'll stay stuck where you are. Winners understand that every limit is an illusion. The ceiling you think exists is just a mental barrier, and the only way to break through is to keep going when your mind tells you to stop. Most people set limits in their minds. They believe they can only work so hard, improve so much, or go so far. Because they accept these limits, they stop pushing when they reach them. Winners operate differently. They challenge their limits daily, proving to themselves that what they thought was impossible was just a stepping stone to the next level. To push your limits, you must train yourself to ignore the voice of doubt. When it tells you to quit, push harder. When it says you've done enough, do one more. When it whispers that you can't go further, take another step. Every time you defy that voice, you expand your capacity. You prove to yourself that your limits were never real, and you become stronger, tougher, and more capable of achieving your goals. One practical way to break through mental limits is to set stretch goals, targets that feel just beyond your current reach. These goals force you to push past what's comfortable and test your perceived boundaries. When you achieve a stretch goal, you realize your limits were self-imposed, and you gain the confidence to aim even higher. Over time, this practice rewires your mindset to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. See, work smarter, not just harder. Pushing yourself doesn't mean working endlessly without direction. It means working intelligently. Winners don't just grind for the sake of grinding, they push strategically. They set clear goals, track their progress, and ensure every effort moves them closer to their vision. Effort without purpose is wasted energy. You must know what you're pushing toward, whether it's developing a skill, building something meaningful, or achieving a specific outcome. Ask yourself, what am I working for? Am I training for something specific? Is my effort aligned with my goals? Winners don't just work hard, they work towards something. They have a purpose behind their discipline, a vision that makes the struggle worthwhile. And once they have that vision, they protect it. They don't let distractions, opinions, or obstacles pull them off course. They stay locked in, focused, and obsessed with their growth, refusing to let anything slow them down. Working smarter also means knowing when to push and when to recover. Winners understand that real success comes from relentless consistency, not random intensity. They go all in when it counts, but they also prioritize rest and recovery to sustain their performance over time. By balancing effort with strategy, they maximize their results and avoid burnout. To work smarter, start by clarifying your priorities. Identify the 1 or 2 goals that matter most and focus your energy there. Break those goals into actionable steps and create a plan to tackle them systematically. Use tools like calendars, to-do lists, or progress trackers to stay organized and measure your growth. Regularly evaluate your efforts to ensure you're on the right path and adjust as needed. By combining hard work with smart planning, you'll achieve more with less wasted effort. Ignore the noise and stay focused. Not everyone will understand why you push yourself so hard. Most people are comfortable with average. They'll look at your work ethic and say, "That's too much." They'll question your drive, dismiss your ambition, or try to pull you back to their level. You must be strong enough to ignore them. Winners don't fit in. They don't live like everyone else, and they don't accept the same standards as the rest of the world. That's why they achieve results others can't. To push yourself daily, you must stay focused on your own path. Don't let distractions or doubters shake your resolve. Don't waste time on things that don't move you forward. Be obsessed with your growth and let that obsession drown out the noise. The truth is, most people won't push themselves to your level, not because they can't, but because they won't. They're not willing to sacrifice comfort for greatness, to demand more from themselves, to break through their own limits. That's what separates you from them. One way to stay focused is to surround yourself with like-minded people who share your drive. Seek out mentors, peers, or communities that inspire you to keep pushing. Limit exposure to negative influences, whether it's toxic relationships, mindless entertainment, or social media distractions. Create an environment that supports your goals and reinforces your commitment to excellence. When you stay focused, you protect your energy and ensure every effort moves you closer to your vision. Send. Become your own competition. Ultimately, pushing yourself isn't about beating others. It's about beating the old version of yourself. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. The only question that matters is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Did I push harder, stay focused longer, take one more step when I wanted to quit? If the answer is no, you're not growing. You're staying the same, and staying the same is losing. Winners don't just work harder than everyone else, they work harder than their past selves. They demand improvement every day. They don't go through the motions or operate at half speed. They push, grow, and evolve, constantly raising the bar for what they're capable of. This relentless pursuit of self-improvement is what makes them unstoppable. To become your own competition, adopt a mindset of continuous growth. Reflect on your progress regularly. Celebrate your wins, but always look for ways to improve. Set new challenges to keep yourself engaged. Compare your current performance to your past, not to others. When you focus on surpassing yourself, you create a sustainable drive that doesn't depend on external validation. You become your own motivator, your own accountability partner, your own standard of excellence. The power of small wins. Pushing yourself. Every day doesn't always mean chasing monumental achievements. Sometimes it's about stacking small wins that add up to massive results. Winners understand the power of incremental progress. They know that every small action, every completed task, every extra rep, every moment of discipline builds the foundation for greatness. These small wins create a sense of accomplishment, boost your confidence, and keep you motivated to keep going. Most people overlook small wins because they're focused on the end goal. They want instant results and get discouraged when progress is slow. Winners take a different approach. They break their goals into manageable steps and celebrate each milestone along the way. This keeps them engaged and prevents burnout. It also reinforces the habit of showing up, which is the cornerstone of success. To leverage small wins, start by setting micro goals, tiny, achievable tasks that move you toward your larger vision. For example, if you're writing a book, commit to writing 1 paragraph today. If you're training for a marathon, focus on running 1 extra minute. Track these wins to see your progress over time. Each small victory builds momentum and strengthens your belief in your ability to achieve bigger goals. Over weeks, months, and years, these small wins compound into transformative results. Cultivate mental toughness. Mental toughness is the backbone of pushing yourself daily. It's the ability to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. It's the strength to face setbacks, criticism, and failure without losing focus. It's the resilience to stay disciplined even when the results aren't immediate. Winners aren't born with mental toughness. They build it through consistent effort and intentional practice. Mental toughness starts with how you talk to yourself. Your inner dialogue shapes your actions. If you tell yourself, "I can't do this," you'll stop. If you say, "I'll figure it out," you'll keep going. Winners train themselves to replace negative self-talk with empowering statements. When they face a challenge, they don't dwell on how hard it is. They focus on how they'll overcome it. This shift in perspective turns obstacles into opportunities. Another way to build mental toughness is to expose yourself to controlled stress. Put yourself in situations that test your limits, whether it's a tough workout, a public speaking event, or a tight deadline. These experiences teach you to stay calm under pressure and push through discomfort. Over time, you become less rattled by challenges and more confident in your ability to handle anything. Visualization is another powerful tool for mental toughness. Before tackling a difficult task, picture yourself succeeding. Imagine overcoming obstacles, staying focused, and crossing the finish line. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind for the real thing, making it easier to stay strong when the moment comes. By combining positive self-talk, controlled stress, and visualization, you forge a mind that doesn't break under pressure. Learn from failure. Failure is inevitable, but it's not the end. It's a teacher. Winners don't fear failure. They embrace it as a chance to learn and grow. Most people see failure as a sign to give up. They take it personally, letting it erode their confidence. Winners take a different approach. They analyze their failures, extract lessons, and use them to get better. Every setback is a stepping stone to success. To push yourself daily, you must reframe failure as feedback. When you fall short, ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently? How can I improve? This mindset shifts your focus from defeat to development. It keeps you moving forward instead of getting stuck in self-pity. The more you learn from failure, the more resilient you become, and the less you fear taking risks. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously said he didn't fail 10,000 times while inventing the light bulb. He found 10,000 ways that didn't work. Each failure brought him closer to success because he refused to quit. Winners like Edison don't see failure as a dead end. They see it as part of the process. They push through setbacks, knowing that every lesson learned makes them stronger. To learn from failure, adopt a growth mindset. Believe that your abilities can improve with effort and practice. Keep a journal to document your failures and the lessons they teach. Share your experiences with a mentor or trusted friend to gain new perspectives. By treating failure as a tool for growth, you turn every stumble into a step toward greatness. Build a vision that fuels you. Pushing yourself every day requires a reason, a vision that makes the struggle worthwhile. Winners don't just work hard for the sake of it. They're driven by a clear purpose. They know exactly what they're pushing toward, whether it's building a business, mastering a skill, or creating a legacy. This vision gives their effort meaning and keeps them motivated when the going gets tough. To build a vision that fuels you, start by asking yourself, what do I want to achieve? Who do I want to become? What impact do I want to make? Be specific. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, define what success looks like for you. Maybe it's running a marathon, launching a company, or inspiring others with your work. The clearer your vision, the more it will pull you forward. Once you have a vision, make it vivid. Write it down, create a vision board, or visualize it daily. Remind yourself why you're pushing yourself. What's at stake if you don't? Connect your daily actions to your larger goal. For example, if your vision is to become a published author, every sentence you write brings you closer. This connection makes even the smallest tasks feel purposeful. Protect your vision from distractions and doubters. Not everyone will share your ambition, and some may try to discourage you. Stay focused on your why and let it guide your decisions. When your vision is strong, it becomes a source of endless motivation, pushing you to keep going even when the path is hard. 15. Surround yourself with winners. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset and behavior. If you're around people who settle for average, you'll be tempted to do the same. If you're around winners, people who push themselves, set high standards, and chase big goals, you'll be inspired to elevate your own game. Winners seek out environments that challenge them to grow, to push yourself daily, build a circle of like-minded individuals. Find mentors who've achieved what you aspire to. Connect with peers who share your drive and hold you accountable. Join communities, whether online or in person, that align with your goals. These relationships provide support, inspiration, and perspective, helping you stay focused and motivated. Be intentional about who you let into your inner circle. Limit time with negative or complacent people who drain your energy. Seek out those who push you to be better, even if it means stepping out of your comfort zone. For example, if you're training for a marathon, join a running club where members challenge each other to improve. If you're starting a business, network with entrepreneurs who can share their insights and keep you accountable. Surrounding yourself with winners doesn't mean you need to know famous or successful people. It means finding those who share your hunger for growth, no matter where they are in their journey. Their energy will lift you up, and together, you'll push each other to new heights. Take ownership of your results. Winners take full responsibility for their outcomes. They don't blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for their failures. They own their results, good or bad, and use them as fuel to improve. This mindset of ownership empowers you to control your destiny. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for external forces to change. You make the change happen. To push yourself daily, adopt an ownership mentality. If you miss a goal, don't say I didn't have enough time. Say, I didn't prioritize my time effectively. If a project fails, don't blame your team. Ask, what could I have done better? This shift in perspective puts you in the driver's seat. It gives you the power to learn, adapt, and keep moving forward. Ownership also means celebrating your successes. When you achieve a goal, acknowledge the effort you put in. Give yourself credit for showing up, pushing through, and making it happen. This reinforces your belief in your ability to shape your future. By owning both your failures and your wins, you build a mindset that's resilient, proactive, and unstoppable. So, master the art of recovery. Pushing yourself every day doesn't mean burning out. Winners know that sustainable success requires imbalance. They push hard, but they also prioritize recovery to maintain their performance over the long term. Recovery isn't about being lazy, it's about recharging your mind and body so you can come back stronger. To master recovery, incorporate rest into your routine. Schedule downtime to relax, reflect, and recharge. Prioritize sleep, as it's critical for mental clarity and physical health. Practice stress relief techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or journaling to keep your mind sharp. Fuel your body with nutritious food to sustain your energy. Recovery also means knowing when to step back and reassess. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a moment to evaluate your priorities. Are you pushing in the right direction? Are you spreading yourself too thin? Sometimes a brief pause can give you the clarity to push even harder. By balancing intense effort with strategic recovery, you ensure you can keep going without crashing. Stay hungry for growth. The final key to pushing yourself every day is to stay hungry for growth. Winners never stop learning, improving, or challenging themselves. They're driven by a relentless desire to become better, no matter how much they've already achieved. This hunger keeps them moving forward, even when they've reached the top. To stay hungry, cultivate curiosity. Seek out new knowledge, skills, and experiences that stretch your abilities. Read books, take courses, or learn from others in your field. Set new goals as soon as you achieve old ones to keep yourself engaged. Embrace feedback, even when it's tough, because it shows you where you can improve. Staying hungry also means avoiding complacency. Success can make you comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of growth. Remind yourself that there's always another level to reach, another skill to master, another challenge to conquer. Keep your vision alive and let it fuel your drive to keep pushing. Conclusion. Start now and never stop pushing yourself every day isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up, demanding more from yourself, and refusing to settle for less than your best. It's about building a life of discipline, resilience, and purpose that sets you apart from the crowd. Winners don't wait for life to push them. They push themselves. They don't hope for success. They create it through relentless effort, unshakable discipline, and an unbreakable commitment to growth. The time to start is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, right now. Every moment you wait is a moment wasted. Every excuse you make is an opportunity lost. If you're serious about winning, about becoming unstoppable, you must take action immediately. Push harder, work smarter, stay focused, and prove to yourself every day that you're built different. Ask yourself, are you ready to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could? Are you willing to break through your limits, ignore the noise, and chase your vision with everything you've got? The choice is yours. Start now and don't stop. Because when you push yourself like a winner, you don't just achieve success, you become it.